Please don't forget subscribe to the channel and hit the bell to get notified of new daily videos.
For years, I poured my soul into my work at Sterling Capital Partners. I started as a junior investment analyst, and through relentless dedication, countless late nights, and a genuine passion for understanding market dynamics, I rose through the ranks. My clients trusted me, my colleagues respected my analytical skills, and I consistently exceeded expectations. Everyone, including me, knew I was next in line for the senior investment advisor position. It was a career-defining promotion, the culmination of everything I'd worked for. The person who stood in my way, who I initially thought was a mentor, was Brandon, my direct team lead. Brandon was charismatic but fundamentally lazy, always quick to take credit and delegate responsibility. When the promotion interviews came around, I felt confident. I had the experience, the client portfolio, and the track record. Then the unthinkable happened. I was passed over. Not just for someone equally qualified, but for an external hire with significantly less experience. My world crumbled. I was devastated and confused. My manager, a kind woman named Alina who was also leaving the firm soon, pulled me aside. She didn't mince words. She'd heard whispers, seen hints of a dossier, a file detailing my supposed performance issues, minor infractions blown out of proportion, misconstrued client interactions, even a fabricated breach of an obscure internal protocol. It was a masterpiece of corporate slander, meticulously crafted to ensure I wouldn't get the promotion. And the architect? Brandon. He'd submitted it anonymously to the partner committee, ensuring plausible deniability while poisoning my chances. Discovering the extent of Brandon's treachery lit a cold, burning fuse within me. I wasn't just angry, I was profoundly violated. My career, my future, had been deliberately sabotaged by someone I'd trusted. Moving on felt like letting him win. I needed justice, and I needed it to be as devastating for him as his betrayal was for me. Brandon's biggest responsibility was overseeing the firm's annual regulatory compliance audit. This wasn't just a formality. It was a critical, high-stakes event. Any significant discrepancy could lead to massive fines, reputational damage, and even personal accountability for the lead analyst. Because of his laziness, Brandon had me, his most competent junior analyst, doing the bulk of the reconciliation and reporting for the Apex Growth Fund, one of our largest and most complex portfolios. It was a 6-week grind, requiring meticulous attention to detail. My plan began there. Over those 6 weeks, I became a phantom architect of financial chaos. I started by subtly inflating some internal transfer figures within the Apex Fund's daily reports. I miscategorized others, assigning certain expenses or distributions incorrectly, but in ways that weren't immediately obvious. Every week, Brandon would review my compiled reports, sign off on them without a second glance, happy that the numbers looked clean on paper. What he didn't realize was that the internal records he was signing were slowly, painstakingly diverging from the actual underlying ledger, the one the external auditors would be scrutinizing. I created a false paper trail that perfectly balanced the numbers for Brandon's eyes, while the real underlying accounts were spiraling into a multi-million-dollar discrepancy. I focused on the most complex transactions, the ones Brandon would be least likely to understand or double-check. A week before the audit was scheduled to begin, I made my final grand move. I advised Brandon that, to streamline things for the auditors, we should make a seemingly routine, pre-audit consolidation transaction, effectively a large internal movement of funds, to simplify some historical entries. He, eager to be done with the tedious preparation, signed off on it without question. This final transaction exacerbated the discrepancy to an astronomical level, burying it deep within layers of seemingly legitimate data. The following Monday, the auditors from the Financial Regulatory Authority arrived. That same morning, I walked into Alina's office and tendered my resignation, effective immediately. Alina, understanding my situation, gave me an incredible reference and wished me luck. I watched the initial chaos unfold from a distance, enjoying a quiet satisfaction. The auditors, renowned for their meticulousness, were tearing through the Apex Growth Fund records. Within days, the whispers started, then the shouts. A colossal, multi-million-dollar discrepancy was uncovered. It was inexplicable, undeniable, and it fell squarely under Brandon's purview. He was publicly humiliated, grilled by the partners, and utterly unable to explain how such a massive error could have occurred under his watch. The firm faced severe regulatory scrutiny and substantial fines. But the true masterpiece of my revenge was Brandon's fate. He was fired on the spot. I later heard through the grapevine that the incident not only cost him his job, but also led to the revocation of his professional certifications. His career in finance, the very thing he'd tried to deny me, was utterly and completely obliterated. He disappeared from the industry, a pariah never to recover. While the firm suffered financially in the short term, the actual money wasn't stolen, just horribly misreported, so they eventually stabilized. But for Brandon, there was no recovery. He gambled with my future and lost his own. Some lessons are best taught with a clean ledger and a ruined career. Brandon got exactly what he deserved.
If you enjoyed this video, please hit the thumbs up button to like it. And please do subscribe to support the channel.